10 men you won't believe actually exist. Strange, unbelievable, inconceivable, and some of them even look like something out of a comic. There are so exceptional cases in this world that it's worth it to take a look. I can't wait! What about you? Pakirappa Hunagundi. This unusual Indian villager is addicted to eating bricks, mud, and loose stone.
Delicious.
Throughout the day, he can consume up to 7 pounds of those supplies. It's a very strange diet, but very cheap, isn't it? Pakirappa has been following this peculiar and not nourishing diet for over 2 decades. Ever since he digs in walls and streets and says there's no negative effect on his health caused by eating all those non-edible materials. The disorder that Pakirappa has is known as pica, which is characterized by the strong craving for eating non-nourishing substances. Surprisingly, his full set of teeth is intact. And he says if there are suggestions on how to beat his rare addiction, he's all ears. While if you give him a chicken or candy, he'll probably turn them down immediately and only want to eat mud no matter what. Would you challenge him to an all-you-can-eat? Nick Stoberl. Nick Stoberl is a young artist and comedian from California, USA. He currently holds the record for having the longest tongue in the world.
Wow.
The Guinness official measure is 3.9 inches from the tip to the half of the upper lip. Nick snatched the title from the British Stephen Taylor, whose tongue is 3.8 inches in length. Stoberl loves how popular his tongue is and says, "I'm not only able to lick my nose, but also my elbow." And his only problem is the extra time he needs to brush his tongue in the morning. Believe it or not, his family also has a very large tongue. I would bet that the bass guitarist of Kiss, Gene Simmons, is a little jealous of these guys. Sajjad Gharabi. The Iranian Sajjad Gharabi is an incredible strongman that lifts weights and is a fighter. He was nicknamed as the Human Hulk after the media informed about his robust size. Sajjad is 25 years old, 6.1 feet tall, and 384 pounds of pure muscle. His fame has risen over time, since he looks like Marvel's Green Big Guy. Hulk! Smash! And already has 450,000 followers on Instagram. Gharabi would rather be called the Persian Hercules and dedicates his life to lifting weights. On his Instagram profile, he publishes pictures of his unbelievable body size so that everyone can see him. Sajjad's dream is to become the first Iranian fighter in the WWE. Keep an eye on the TV because Sajjad might participate in the next fight of the year. Amul Haji. This strange man and Pakirappa Hunagundi, that I mentioned before, could be excellent friends, since both of them feel a deep attraction for the ground. Amul Haji is around 80 years old and holds the record for being the man with the longest time going without taking a shower. That's right, he hasn't washed for over 60 years. The last time was at the age of 20. Those who know him say he went through some emotional setbacks in his youth, which led him to make this extreme decision about living away from cities and established communities. Instead of having a house, he lives out in the open and feeds on rotten meat of dead animals. He smokes animal feces and drinks 5 liters of water a day. Despite his miserable situation, Haji says he is happy living from what the ground produces. He has no properties, but neither worries nor fears. And perhaps that's the reason for his happiness. Maybe a simple and dirty life doesn't sound so bad after all. Justin Jedlicka. The unbelievable Justin Jedlicka is the person who comes closest to looking like Ken, the famous Mattel toy. Justin, also known as the Human Ken, was born in 1980 in the United States, and his popularity is due to his more than 500 surgeries and almost perfect under-the-knife look.
That's hot.
His first cosmetic surgery procedure was a rhinoplasty. Ever since, he has undergone chest, shoulders, and triceps implants, and many other procedures that made him look like Ken without exercises or special routines. Wow! But an expensive wow. The biggest pleasure for Justin is to make and design implant pieces to his clients. Would you like to be the next Max Steel or Action Man? Hu Qiong and Zhao Rui. Hu Qiong is a Shaolin monk who has learnt martial arts from a very young age. These monks are known for their amazing kung fu skills. Many of them perform great deeds with spears, swords, and different pointed weapons. Hu Qiong took this to another level, as he is capable of using a drill on his temple. When he finishes the act, only a small mark is left. However, Hu Qiong is not alone in this, because his monk brother, Zhao Rui, also plays rough with drill bits. They are clearly guys with superpowers. Slavisa Pajkic, Raj Mohan Nair, and Deepak Jangra. Are you into electricity? An ordinary human being would die with only 1/10 of an ampere. However, these unusual supermen cheat physics.
Electrifying.
Slavisa is from Serbia, but Raj and Deepak are from India. What do they have in common? All of them are electric men. Slavisa has received an electric shock of 20,000 volts. In 2003, he heated up a cup of water at 206 degrees Fahrenheit. According to him, his body is insulating, conductor, and accumulator, depending on the situation. At the tender age of 7, Raj Mohan Nair attempted against his life using a high-voltage cable, but absolutely nothing happened to him. After this mythic tragedy, he could discover his superpower, which he proudly shows to the world. Wait, there's still more. A young Deep Jangra discovered his power when he touched exposed wires without using the proper equipment, and he didn't come to any harm. He has tried with 10, 110, 220, and even 1000 volts without any problems. He has so much synergism with electricity that he can touch a striped wire with his tongue. The same happens with his fellow Raj Mohan Nair. Electricity problems at home? Better call one of them. Stefan Wiltshire. Stefan Wiltshire is a very high-valued and famous artist for making panoramic illustrations of cities from memory after having observed them quickly. As a child, he was diagnosed with autism and said his first word, paper, at the age of 5. Even so, little Stefan was able to draw the wildlife and caricatures of his teachers. Later, he started drawing buildings he saw in London with a unique level of detail.
Impressive.
And, since 1989, has drawn panoramic illustrations. Ever since then, he is known for having this talent. In New York, after only a 20-minute tour in a helicopter, he was able to draw everything he observed on a 5-meter canvas. And in Mexico DF, he did something similar. Although people follow him, he faces the fame of his photographic memory with humility and simplicity. Would you be able to remember a whole city at a glance? It would be an amazing talent, wouldn't it? Hai Nagok. Can you imagine not being able to sleep? It's a little weird, right? This Vietnamese man, who is 76 years old, says he hasn't slept for over 40 years.
Can't sleep.
Despite that, he enjoys excellent health and can work the land almost every day. Lost in a small village in the core of Vietnam, Hai lives off of agriculture and selling his own rice liquor. This Vietnam veteran hasn't closed his eyes to take a nap in several years. The local doctors don't have the technology to verify whether the story is real or not, but Nagok and his neighbors say this condition is real. He always feels alert and active 24/7 and has an ordinary life. What do you prefer, to stay awake or tuck yourself into bed? I get my 8 hours of sleep, and you? Leave your answer in the comments.
I'm just a big toasty cinnamon bun.
Derek Paravicini. Most people have music in their blood, and everybody listens to it. But can you imagine to be able to remember all the songs you've ever listened to and being capable of recreating them perfectly after only one listening? Derek knows it well. He was a premature baby, born 3 months before expected, so he had to receive so much oxygen and couldn't develop his vision. In addition, Derek has autism, and he is an authentic music savant with perfect pitch. He made the most of his talent thanks to his teacher's help, giving big concerts, forming his own band, and so much more. He is able to remember more than 20,000 pieces of music and play them on the piano flawlessly, just like a jukebox. With the talent of this British musician, that although he is a blind person, can play a song with superb precision by barely listening to it. Super memory, talent, and human. This is proof that anything is possible with talent, support, and interest. Bonus! I've got more for you with these special mentions. Let's start with Wim Hof, nicknamed as the Iceman. He probably makes you think of this character. Wim has this abnormal ability because he can control his immune, vascular, nervous, and hormonal system with a breathing method and only wears shorts in glacial environments. He broke the Guinness record for staying buried under ice and not having hypothermia. Now it's the turn for Mikel Lotito, or the Eat-All Man. He has eaten things such as coffins, bicycles, televisions, a computer, and even a little airplane. His rare fixation is called pica, and Paki Rapa also suffered from it. And if you like running, this is the man who can't get exhausted. His name is Dean Karnazes, who, at the age of 30, gave up on everything to run for his dreams. He runs 50 marathons in the 50 states of the USA 50 days in a row. This man is never tired, literally. And just to conclude, this is the British Elastic Man. Correct, just like Marvel's. Gary Turner has this incredible talent, which is about stretching out his skin up to 5.9 inches. Extraordinary, isn't it? How's that even possible? Gary suffers from an unusual disease called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that affects the skin's and joints' elasticity, and he always shows his talent gracefully. For videos, I recommend you these ones. Believe me, you'll have a really good time.